Fellas, do you own a brat? If so, here's how you take care of them. First things first, you need to have a system. Okay, what, Daddy Mark, what is a system? All a system is just a set of rules, and you have rewards and you have punishments. So if they don't follow the rules, there are punishments, and if they do follow the rules, there are rewards. Now, ironically enough, one of the very common DMs that I get from women is saying that there are no rewards, it's just punishments. Crazy. Because if there are no rewards, then there's nothing that's motivating them to behave. You know what I'm saying? You get straight A's so you can go to the field trips. You get straight A's so you can get the new games that's come on Christmas or whatever the case may be, right? That's what the rewards are for. If you're not giving them any rewards, you're not motivating them to behave. Okay, so there needs to be rewards. Also, another common DM that I get is like women saying that they're powerless in their dynamics, and that like their tamers or their doms are like abusing their power, and like they don't take into consideration their feelings. We also have rules that we need to abide by, right? Like, and this is in any dynamic with like power involved, right? Students and teachers, parent and child, like the students and the child or the children also have needs that need to be met, and the teachers and parents also have responsibilities that they need to uphold so that their children are being taken care of and students are being taken care of. Okay? So, yes, you have rules for the brats, but also we have rules that we need to abide by as well. It's a system, a whole ecosystem that gets the engine going, it keeps the engine fair, and it keeps everybody happy. With that being said, I'm gonna give you guys a few examples about like some of the rules, rewards that I have. And while I'm giving you guys the examples, please keep in mind that you may not like these rules, and that is okay. Why? Because every dynamic is different. Okay, I'm into some things that y'all might not be into. The brats in the video that I'm going to be saying, they might also be into some things that y'all might not be into, and that's okay. All right, what's important is that in your dynamic, the rules are for y'all, no one else. Okay, y'all should not be making rules for other people because no one else is in the dynamic. All right, now with that being said, years ago I was in a long distance relationship, and I had a rule. Actually, we were in a long distance relationship, and we saw each other like once a month, right? And I would like fly her out to like come see me or whatever the case may be. She stayed with me for like a week, and one of the rules was when I arrived to pick her up, I should be greeted with a hug and kiss, and when we got into the car, I was going to be receiving sloppy toppy on the way back to the apartment. All right, with that being said, I was late. Why I was late? I was playing League of Legends. The game lasted way longer than I thought it would be. So when I arrived to the airport, and also like, yes, I was late, but she was not waiting there for long. Like the attitude she was giving me, you would have thought she was waiting for hours. She really probably just waited for like maybe 20 minutes. But I digress. So she was waiting for me. I did not receive a hug or a kiss. She just put her stuff in the trunk, and we got into the car. So, once again, the rule, I get greeted with a hug, kiss, sloppy toppy on the way there. She did not follow the rule. Okay, she thought that she was above the program. That is not the case. Especially, like I said, for her waiting 20 minutes, the attitude was just uncalled for. So, some more context about us and our sex life. After about 3 or 4 orgasms, she would tap out. She'd be completely done. She'd be like, wow, that was a lot for me. I need a break, or whatever the case may be. So because she did not greet me with a hug or kiss or a sloppy toppy. I mean, to be honest, if I'm being honest with you, I think not greeting me with the hug or the kiss hurt more than the sloppy toppy. I know a lot of men are probably going to be watching this video and be like, yeah, the sloppy toppy sucks. But honestly, not being greeted with the hug or kiss low-key hurt the most. I would rather the hug and kiss. Sloppy toppy's going to come. But the hug and kiss, after not seeing me for like a month, that's not cool whatsoever. So, with that being said, one of her punishments... Oh, on another side tangent, I'm going to go on these a lot because, there's just so much to talk about. So this might be a 30-minute video. if my phone allows me, because there's some storage stuff, this might be a 30-minute video. But on another side tangent, the punishment has to fit the crime, fellas. You can't, if it's like something small and what you consider to be small, once again, that's up to you guys' dynamic. But you can't give a big punishment or a big reward for something small. And, I mean, it's fairly obvious. And you might be thinking to yourself, why can't I give a big reward for something small? Because when she does something big, it's going to be harder to top that reward. And there needs to be a nice balance. So, like I said, not hugging and kissing me, I think was a pretty big crime. It was a pretty big crime. So like I said, she would tap out after like 3-4 orgasms. So when we got back to my place, I have a video of it actually, but I think in the video, I think after the 4th time, she wanted to tap out, and I was just like, yeah, no, you don't get off the hook that easily. And I think I made her come like 4 more times, and it was like, which may not seem like a lot to y'all, but like I said, everything is like different. Like her, I'm. Can I say this on YouTube? I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it anyway, and if it happens, it happens. But like, so we had just discovered A-spot orgasms in our dynamic, in our relationship at that time. We had just discovered A-spot orgasms, and those are way more powerful, at least to her. I can't speak for every woman, but for her, those orgasms, what she told me, were like 3 times more powerful than G-spot orgasms. So like G-spot orgasms, she could have like 5 or 6 of those, and those would be her limit. But with A-spot, it was like 3 or 4. So I gave her like 7 or 8 of those. I gave her like 7 or 8, and she was after the 4th one, she was crying. And also, I am a bit of a sadist. I do get a little bit of pleasure off of consensually overstimulating my partner. It's not necessarily like, it's like a good, because I have to explain this, because there are going to be people in the comment section to be like, oh my god, she was crying and he kept going. First of all, it was consensual, okay? And second of all, it's like, it's not a bad pain. You have good pains and you have bad pains, and you have like overbearing senses and stimulation. So like me just making her finish more than what she could like handle is just overstimulating her, and it's a lot to handle, and sometimes it's too much to a point where she felt like she had to cry. And if I kept going, then it would be super duper painful. But I would take into good judgment when too much was too much. So I don't want y'all being like, oh my god, she was crying and he kept going. Everything was calculated. We've had these conversations before. We've been, at this point in time, we have been dating for like 3 years. Okay, so I don't want y'all, once again, I just don't want y'all in the comment section be like, well, how could you do that to her, and like attacking me in these comments. Everything was consensual. We've talked about it. We've talked about the punishments. With that being said, she was crying, and it, in this case, in a sexual manner, it would low-key turn me on. So I'm like talking her through it, and I'm telling her how like I honestly don't care what the attitude is. When you see me, you give me a kiss, and I was getting my apologies. Fellas, Here is why it is important for you to talk your brats through punishments and rewards, but punishments, I'm talking about punishments in this case. Brats take pride. For whatever reason, they take pride in being hard to tame. Okay, then I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not really that hard to tame, but you know, you just gotta let them be them. But they take pride in being hard to tame. They take pride in never apologizing. So you talking your brat through a punishment and forcing her to apologize, it hurts them on a psychological level. And it causes me great pleasure. It causes me great pleasure to make a brat apologize. And it psychologically, it hurts them to apologize. So the reason why it's important for you to talk them through it is because, yeah, you can sit there and punish them, but like, if you really want the punishment to get through, you need to make them apologize. You need to make them say why what they did was wrong, how they're not going to do it again. And then on top of that, you need to, like, just to make sure that it's not like, oh, I'm just going to tell him what he wants to hear. No, you need a thorough explanation. A few apologies. And like I said, I made her apologize. Like I said, her limit was like 3 or 4. I made her finish like 7, 8 times. I got like 3, 4 more apologies. I wanted to make sure it was thorough. Okay, make sure it was thorough. And that was one of the punishments when she did not follow the rules. Overstimulation, by the way. That was a very long explanation of me telling y'all that one of her punishments was overstimulation. All right, and you fellas, you might be thinking to yourself, or ladies, you might be thinking to yourself, my man doesn't make me finish. My man struggles making me finish. My man can't make me finish that time. It's hard for me to finish, whatever the case may be. Fellas, first of all, this is why I think it's super important for you to like learn. Like, the first thing you should do is learn your partner's body. First thing you should do is learn your partner's body. It just opens up so many more avenues in terms of like rewards and in terms of like punishments. Like I said, if you can't make your partner finish, you're not going to be able to do that punishment, right? But if you can't make your partner finish, there are other punishments that you guys can talk about, like spanking, certain like humiliations that you can do, or whatever the case may be, right? So that's like, there are options, but it's important for you to learn your partner's body so you have more options. Edging is also another thing, but that's also something you can't do if you can't make your partner finish. You can't edge her. So once again, that just goes back to knowing your partner's body. But rewards, right? Let's talk about rewards. I told you, I gave you a punishment or punishment. Let's talk about rewards. What's something that she did that I really did appreciate, and I was like, oh, so she was an engineer. She was in college to be like an engineer or something, or cybersecurity. It was a long time. I think cybersecurity is an engineer. I don't know, but she was some kind of techno woman or whatever the case may be, and she passed this test. She got like an A on this test, and keep in mind, people, this was years ago, because I don't want y'all thinking he's a little old. What do you mean she was in school? This was years ago. This was years ago, okay? So don't come at me in the comment section like that. This was a long time ago. I was like 23. She was like 22. All right, so she had like just got an A on this test, and she liked Squishmallows. She had this large collection of Squishmallows. So her reward for doing well in school, I took her to TJ Maxx and we got her a Squishmallow. There are also other rewards as well. Okay, getting her Squishmallows was one. Another reward, if like a bigger reward so like Squishmallow is like a small reward, right? Why is it a small reward? Because in this dynamic, you're supposed to do good in school, right? Like getting A's, passing tests, that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm not going to ignore your efforts, right? So you get a Squishmallow. But if she did something super intense, like there's this one kink that I'm into. I'm not going to say in this video, or I might not say this ever, but whenever she like played into this kink that I really enjoyed, I would give her a really big reward, right? And I would like literally take her to a spa, right? So that's another big reward, right? Another one, I would cook for her. right? Because we both cooked our own meals. We were both in the gym. We both meal prepped. But if she did good, guess what? Now I'm going to like cook you your own meal, and I'm not just going to cook like chicken Alfredo. Like I'm going to cook you like she loved fried chicken. So I made her fried chicken and like cornbread and all that stuff, right? So those are examples of rewards. I think that's everything. I mean, it's not everything. Obviously, like I said, I can talk about this for like a long time, but I think in terms of like a generalization, I think of just getting like the entire concept. What y'all need to know about like the Brat Tamer ecosystem is that there needs to be a system. Rewards, punishments. Rewards motivate them to do good. Punishments stop them from doing bad. Okay, when she was crying and she came 8 times, she was on her best behavior the entire week. Why? Because honestly, she was on her best behavior for the entire week, and that's what the system is. It motivates good behavior, it discourages bad behavior. All right, if you have a brat that is constantly just wanting to be bad, I personally would look over the reward system. Okay, but yes, you need to have rules not only for your brats but also for you as well that you follow. Because guess what? I also, when I did good, I also got rewards. When I did bad, I also got punished. But it looked different. So like, actually, let me talk about this. So one of my rewards. So during this time, I was a stand-up comedian. All right, and I had like auditioned to get this spot at this club to do like 5 minutes, and I auditioned and I got it. And because I got it, I got a reward. She like put on this like schoolgirl outfit. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh, she put on the schoolgirl outfit, and you know, it was a good time. It was a really good time. And like, so that was one idea of a reward. I'm trying to think of like a punishment that I messed. This happened years ago. I'm trying to think of something, but a punishment. So like the next time we would like be intimate or sexual with one another, I just wouldn't get head. Right? That was like another thing. Or like, I would have to go down on her absorbently. I don't know, absorbently way more than normal, right? As like a punishment. And once again, it's different for like, it's different for everybody, right? So if you don't like giving head to your partner, or ladies, you don't like receiving head, whatever the case may be, you can just find another reward. If you're like, what, I gotta put my man's meat down my mouth, I need a different punishment, you can do that. All right, every dynamic is different. But I say all this to let you guys know there needs to be rewards, there needs to be punishments, there needs to be a system to make sure that both people are being taken care of and that both people are being held accountable. With that being said, guys, if I touched on everything, I didn't touch on everything, but if I touch on some things that you appreciated, let me know in the comment section. If you want to hear more about something, also let me know in the comment section. I appreciate y'all.